going, everybody? My name is Tanner Banks.
And I am JJ Mangold.
And welcome to The Name.
Does not matter.
That's right, everybody. The name really does not matter.
Hashtag TNDM.
Sponsored by Slickster Magazine. Everything you like in one place.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Name Doesn't Matter podcast.
Hashtag TNDM.
Oh my god, this guy's back.
Back? Bitch, this is my show. This is my idea.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
Telling myself, I had to drag you onto the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Tanner Banks.
And I am JJ.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. We got some big stuff up on the news today. First things first.
This is EA Sports
Big. Oh, my God. I love the eSports Big series.
Why,
Fucking-
EA, why did you have to ruin the Street series for NBA?
Oh, yeah.
Now
Home
it's
court
just
sucked.
MK 217.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah, I remember that. It was like the NBA Jam.
NBA 2K, or NBA Street Volume 3 and Street Volume 2, still my favorite games. But
Yes.
anyways, big stuff on the news.
Big stuff, people.
First thing on the docket's definitely Apple. If you haven't
Ooh,
heard,
what are they up to?
well, they're getting sued.
Ooh, sued.
Yeah.
Who didn't see that coming?
Two Apple iPhone 7 users are suing them because of Apple admitting to slowing down their older generation phones.
For battery optimization.
Yeah, they're saying that it's for battery optimization.
But we know what they really want to say.
Right, because if you actually look at the, if you can look up the Google Trends of like when the spikes are
Yeah.
and like iPhone slow and all that,
They just so happen to
perfectly line up with the release of
the next iPhone.
and
Coincidence?
I think
not. Perfect.
yeah, it's they're saying, oh, it's so that they'll have a lot longer life, and it's like, no, you're doing it so that it's
So the wallet has a shorter life.
so it's annoying to use the phone. You're like, fine, I'll get the new phone,
Exactly.
or I'll get the previous phone.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to get the new, but I'll get the old new. But
They'll get the next step before.
and that's when like our
they
parents
really
will say
want you to
shit.
pay that $1,000 for that iPhone X.
Fuck that.
$1,000, and it's almost the same as the iPhone 8. It just has a better display.
Yeah, fuck that. But
Cute. It's still a phone that's gonna spend more time in your pocket. If I want to spend $1,000, I'll go buy a medium grade gaming laptop.
or like
Or
900 and
several Android phones.
or no, slightly over 1,000 Taco Bell tacos,
Or 900 plus loot boxes.
or a milkshake.
A milkshake?
A milkshake.
Oh, you like that one we used to read about that had the gold leaf in it? It was like extremely high priced. I'll
That
just go
was
buy that.
ice
It'll be the same exact experience.
That was on.
Short-lived and regrettable.
You know,
Got him.
just like my sex life.
Oh, man, shots at yourself.
Yeah.
What is this, the third time now?
Pretty much.
That's okay. I still love you, you goofy bastard.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up. On YouTube, there's that. BuzzFeed, right? BuzzFeed videos. Actually, their video series is really good.
I was about to say the cancer of YouTube.
Well, their YouTube videos are pretty good in my opinion. They've got this series called Worth It.
They changed.
Have you seen Worth It?
Yes, I have.
Okay, well they ate that exact ice cream you were talking about.
Yeah.
And it was apparently really good, but
Oh, that's good for them.
of course
I expect
fucking
some
caviar.
I expect some sexual favors with that one.
Oh, for like if I'm getting a crystal goblet, fucking eating
Right.
gold leaf caviar,
Right. I
Right.
expect a nice woman on my side.
or a nice man, we don't discriminate.
No, we don't. It is neutrality here, unlike net neutrality, which might leave us.
Sad violin .mp3, but
No, .ogg. Gotta get that OGG format.
oh yeah, but
It's even better. Not really.
it's even better, but not really.
What?
iPhones.
Ooh.
I mean, it's just
Dude, I used to make that argument with everybody all the time because with iPhones, it's like, okay, it comes out every year. And iOS itself, I've just never been a fan of. iTunes is a pain in the ass, especially as it's been going up.
yeah.
You've been having it trying to get the podcast on iTunes. That could be problematic or annoying.
It's a bitch.
Yeah, it is. And then, you have to have the Bonjour files in there to make Apple products even run.
It's just, here's my thing. Here's
I
my
do
question.
not like Apple at all.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
It treats the customer like a caged animal. Don't let him out of that cage. He might hurt someone.
I mean, that's how they are with a lot of companies. But here's my question when it comes to the slowdowns.
Is it ethical?
Well, it's not ethical in my opinion. But no.
Is it fair?
Do you think Microsoft is doing the same thing?
I don't
Or
know.
Google?
I've never really
Well,
heard.
I guess it'd be more Google because Microsoft ended their phone program. Windows phones aren't a thing anymore.
Well,
Do you think Google's slowing down their shit too?
Well, all they have is Pixel and Pixel 2.
Well, here's the thing. They own Android.
Oh, yeah, they do. I think the slowdown with Android really occurs when you go about 2 full iterations back.
But you do think that they're doing it.
Well, if they're doing it, then it wouldn't surprise me. I'd still give them flack for it. Because if you have a phone, like, we're Nougat now, 7.0, mainstream Nougat, yeah, there's Oreo for testing purposes. But, let's say Christmas time is now. You want to buy your child a tablet.
Sure.
You can't afford an Apple tablet usually.
Oh, no.
And let's be pretty honest, they're garbage.
They're not great.
Yeah. Because Apple just refuses to update anything with them tech-wise, like their MacBook trash cans.
Well, I mean, they'll update them, but they'll make it
subtly.
worse.
Yeah, it'll be worse. It'll be like a slight 5%, and it'll still be a $10,000 trash can.
Pretty much. I mean, it's just, I think that do you think this will be the thing that finally causes them to get a lot of backlash?
I hope so, because they need it, because they're trying to just do a monopoly. Well, they think they own the world, but they don't.
I mean, they are one of the 5 largest companies in the world, to be fair.
Of course, but someone needs to knock them down a peg.
Of course.
Because what's going to happen when no one does?
They're just going to keep doing it.
They're going to hike everything, and their products are going to get worse because they're not going to care, because you, the goofy, foolish consumer, are just going to buy it anyway because, it's got that Apple logo on the back. It's like, how much is that Apple logo worth when everything under it on the other team is far surpassing it?
Or even just building your own shit. And here's my thing.
Yeah, that's the whole PC argument.
I mean, and let's use that PC argument for a sec. I mean, this is an argument you hear every time, but I mean, if you look at like how much a Mac costs,
yes,
you're paying for the only thing you could remotely say, okay, this is what makes it worth it is Apple has amazing displays on their stuff. I mean,
I will give them that. They do have some killer displays.
I mean, the displays on their laptops are like, I think most of them are at least 2K.
Now. Yeah.
I think most of their laptop displays are 2K though.
My Android Asus ZenPad is 2K display.
Sure.
And it looks wonderful.
But it's also a lot smaller screen, so it's not as difficult.
Well, yeah, compared to their tablet.
Or even their laptops.
Well, yeah, the laptop will be even bigger.
I mean, it's just...
But is that extra screen worth $1,000 hike compared to everything else?
Same question with Razer. Probably not, but people buy it. I mean, let's be honest. Razers,
right?
They're pre-built and all that. They're good. No one's gonna say they're not good, but it's like you're
just build your own.
You're paying for those
labor costs, and the snob appeal,
and the snakes on the logo because it looks cool.
Yeah,
Razer has a cool logo. But anyways.
Oh yeah, that's cool. But like, just build your own.
Build your own. Build something. Just don't take
fall
what's
for
happening.
The gimmicks.
And don't take what's happening and be like, it's okay, it's whatever. Because I remember my mom being like, okay, I feel like they're slowing my phone down because all of a sudden she's been having problems with her phone.
An Apple?
Yeah, she's got like an iPhone 4 or something. I mean, she's
got
an old iPhone.
It's like 2011.
Something like that. She's been using it forever, and she feels like sometimes it's getting to the point where it's almost unusable. And now that I think back to it, it's lining up perfectly with this bullshit with their new releases. And it kind of comes into this question, should these companies be able to plan for their product to be able to just fail in a certain amount of time? And if they are able to do that, and if it's fine, should we, the consumers, have a right to know,
right?
Hey, by the way, we only plan for this thing to be usable for like a year or two.
Because if you think about it, like with Microsoft, they disclose when they're going to stop supporting previous operating systems.
Sure.
Which I find hilarious that Windows 7 is getting supported longer than 8 and 8.1.
Right. Well, I liked 8.1, but I'm in the
I know you did.
minority.
I know you did.
To be fair, though,
It was a good tablet. It was a good like touchscreen, but I didn't have a touchscreen, so it didn't matter to me.
eight,
And I was so used to just you're the guy who has the taskbar on the side. I love it being on the bottom. That's just what I'm used to.
yeah, but I don't know.
Kudos to you.
But here, I mean, I'll ask you yes or no. Should there be something in place that requires them to disclose whether or not these products are planned to only last a certain amount of time, or that they are making it to where it's going to be less usable
Right.
for something to be purchased? Yes or no?
Yeah, so basically, should they tell us what is the shelf life?
Yeah, shelf life, usability.
But if you think about it, your contract basically dictates that. A year or two long contract, that's kind of like a foreshadow of how long will this phone function properly.
Well, I'm just thinking more along the lines of, let's compare it to a can of beans at Kroger's.
Right,
You can see the expiration date.
right,
You know how long it's good for.
right.
Should there be something like that on the purchase
Yeah, you'd think so.
versus like,
I would say yes.
okay, more. Well, let me rephrase that because you did bring up the contract. Should it be more obvious?
Yes,
Okay, there you go.
because a lot of people just
Nobody,
face it, a lot of
because
people
nobody
can be
reads the end
ignorant.
user license agreement.
Yeah, no one reads it, and a lot of people just are ignorant in some cases.
Yeah. So I don't know. It pisses me off, but
It makes me mad. I mean, Android, like I was saying earlier about a tablet, the reason I brought the tablet up is because, Christmas time, parents are buying tablets for their
Yeah.
children. I mean, that's just synonymous now with today's world. And, I tell people this. When you buy a tablet, the Android system minimum should be 6.0.
Yep.
Because if it is anything older than that, it's going to be slower than all get out.
well, shit.
And it's not necessarily the fact that Android is throttling it. It's more the fact the just massive amount of hardware change there is between iterations. Apple is a lot more subtle between all their iPhone iterations as opposed to, with this 7, the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge has got the 4 gig of RAM. It's a octa-core 64-bit phone.
Crazy shit.
Crazy specs. My tablet is a hex core, which is a quad core that runs at a high gigahertz rating, and then a dual core that runs at a different gigahertz rating.
Are they actual cores or are they hyper-threaded?
Actual cores.
Okay.
Yeah, 2K display. Really nice. I enjoy it. It was $280. I think I got it on Amazon. It was basically the best option I can get for I didn't want an iPad whatsoever.
Meanwhile, I'm right. I use you want to know what my tablet is?
What's your tablet, your phone?
A first generation Kindle Fire.
Yeah, and that works for some people.
It works, but I mean, going into
What are
think
you
about
using it for?
I just read with it.
Exactly.
At this point. Because
It's
it's
like, what do
so
you use it
fucking
for?
slow.
Well, yeah. But
Like
like
that's
I
the whole
always
thing.
tell people, the software is always going to pass up hardware. The software will need better hardware to keep up.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you're out of luck. So my Christmas guide to you all out there, if you're getting an Android tablet because you don't want to pay Apple, just make sure it runs 6.0 because the hardware should be able to keep up with it. It's a good baseline.
Or buy a book instead.
Or buy them a book. Be a good parent.
But
Do not let the tablet babysit the child. But
Yeah.
enough about that. I don't want to get too far into that.
Let's
I might
get
get
in.
some hate.
Let's get into the other things that babysit kids these days: YouTube and Twitch.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Which is your preferred platform?
Twitch. Well,
Twitch.
okay, from a streaming standpoint or from a watching standpoint.
How about both?
Okay,
Let's make it real hard for you to answer that question.
I'll put it to you this way: when I've got a break, I'm on YouTube.
Right, because it's quick and easy.
When I'm in for the night and it's 11 o'clock and I got a couple brewskis near me, I'm watching Twitch.
Brewskis. What's your preferred brewski when you're watching the Twitch?
Whatever's cheap and available. But
There you go.
for that would normally be
Hashtag unemployed.
normally it's either Coors Light or Rolling Rock. But anyways,
Can we get that trending? Hashtag unemployed.
hashtag Rolling Rock. But here's the thing: it's just
Hashtag I don't drink.
Twitch is built for longer view times.
Of
It
course,
just is.
of
I
course.
mean, with
You
YouTube,
look at YouTube. Their current algorithm is 10-minute videos,
it is.
and it used to be, and last year it was 30-minute videos, just what keeps the person watching. But then they realized, okay, let's change it 10-minute videos, because in your mind you see 10 minutes, okay, it's quick, fast, in a hurry, I could watch it,
And
and
still
then
a
they could,
long time.
yeah, and then they could come back and watch more 10-minute videos, which is better than the 30-minute video, because it is a mind game. Most people don't want to sit there 30 minutes at a time, especially if you're busy or an adult, because
Yeah.
kids could do it. They're in school or they're out of school, and they can do it after school. They can watch whatever they want. But, for us in the adult world, adult land with jobs, it's like 10 minutes, perfect. 10 minutes, that's maybe a car ride to work or what have you.
Lunch break.
Lunch
That's what I
break,
would.
yeah, lunch break is a perfect example.
But for me, here's the thing. I
Here's the thing, everyone.
I watch different things on the two of them now. For instance,
Right.
like on YouTube, I do it so I can watch shows like
Do you not watch gaming on there?
I watch a little bit, but I normally do it for
I-
stuff like
I do, but usually now I watch different things
like I
that
watch
aren't gaming.
like one or two gaming channels now.
This
But on
sounds
Twitch, I
sacrilege,
watch a
doesn't
shit
it?
ton of gaming.
Almost sounds sacrilege.
But
You
like
don't watch gaming on YouTube? Sorry, guys.
no, because the thing is, I mean, it's you
That's
mentioned
what Twitch
it.
is for.
YouTube
And if you
is
think about it, the YouTube gamers are going over to Twitch,
they are.
and that's where you want to see your guys. You have to hope that they post Twitch segments on YouTube if you want to see them.
Yeah. Well,
But
here's the thing. Like I remember we interviewed Eat My Diction. He was a big YouTuber. I mean, he had over
Oh,
like
yeah.
600,000 subscribers.
oh yeah,
He's admitted, he's like, my channel's dead. I just Twitch stream. And it's because, you mentioned it, they changed the algorithm.
yeah.
And my
A lot of
viewing
Let's Plays are longer than 10 minutes.
and my viewing history is a good example of this. I
Mhm.
used to watch it for gaming.
Right.
Now I watch it for shows like Alternative History
Mm-hmm.
Hub or like Geography Now.
Yeah.
It's like it's becoming
I
more
watch
of
it for satire reviews. I don't even watch like gaming.
it's like we're watching curated television in a sense.
Right.
Whereas it's like if we go to Twitch, it's more like we're going down the street and watching a live comedy show or something,
It's like watching a fight or a sports match.
or a talk show,
Exactly.
or in this case, a radio show.
Exactly.
But I think that there's something to be said for that, just because, I mean, first of all, the apocalypse has fucked over so many
You
gaming
knew it was
related
coming
streamers.
though.
You did,
A
but
lot of people blame PewDiePie for the Fiverr thing, but you knew it was coming.
yeah, I mean, it
was
was
gonna
going
happen.
to happen.
Do you remember? Did you hear about the children's content coming under flack all of a sudden? The Elsa Gate
Yeah.
conspiracy. Wasn't that scary?
That was
I
terrifying.
knew about that for years. That was going on, and you never heard about it.
No.
Did you see the new quote unquote educational videos?
Oh God, let me guess. Sex education.
Well, that, and there's this one woman I saw. All she wears is an apron, and I think a thong. She's got like big breasts, and it's just a whole lot of side boob. And whenever they take a bite, it's all that moaning and sensual stuff. I'm like,
And
here
this
you go,
is
kids. Watch
yeah.
some educational videos.
Wonderful. I mean,
Hey, man, that's just how
It's
the
how-
world works.
it's how they're getting around these algorithms. But here's my thing. I mean,
Free money. Oh, yeah, those channels made millions of dollars.
and that's
Those
that's
freaky animations from India.
and all it's doing is pushing. And while these people who, I mean, yes, some of
Kids
them are
fall for it.
edgy and stuff.
They sure are edgy. I remember seeing a
No,
kid's video.
hold on. Like
Oh,
what I mean
holding.
is, these edgy streamers
Oh,
who used
yeah,
to be
yeah, yeah.
YouTubers, they're getting pushed out
Of course they are.
because we can't have that kind of stuff.
But yet,
And it's getting just these shows, this
Yeah.
educate
it's
Elsa stuff.
becoming too PC.
No, it's the opposite, JJ. What I'm trying to tell you is that they've been saying that all this stuff is not allowable, and then all of a sudden it keeps creeping up in different formats, whether it's the Elsa and Spider-Man stuff, whether it's the booby streamers on the educational stuff, whether it's all the stuff, the reality of the situation is it's not because it's edgy, it's because it's gaming. YouTube doesn't want gaming. That's the reason why they
don't
made
want it anymore.
that's the reason why they made gaming.youtube, which by the way is dead as fuck.
They don't want it anymore.
Which I don't get.
They don't want it because it's funny when you think about it. That's what made them.
Well, and
That's where we went. We couldn't be on TV because we were rejected from television.
I think
So we went to YouTube, and then years later, now YouTube is rejecting us. I don't know why. Maybe because we're too toxic of a community. Maybe because we live in fantasy and they don't like that.
I think it's because of the toxicity issue. Because of
That's what I'm thinking.
I'll give you this example. It's not it's not that it's not friendly to the viewers. That's not what it's about. It's what this whole thing started out as.
Mm-hmm.
Advertiser friendly. If you
Exactly.
look at all these tragedies that happen on television and all these things,
Mhm.
you won't see it on YouTube.
No.
That's not advertiser friendly. They can do it on
No.
television because that's advertiser friendly.
And
Advertisers don't. YouTube is being backed into a corner by their advertisers
right.
who don't want to be related to gaming content. Now, Twitch doesn't have to deal with that issue for one simple reason. It's built on gaming.
Yes.
It just
That's
is.
what it is.
And it also has those other forms of assistance through like their bits program, whether it's through subscriptions, which
Right.
YouTube is claiming that, I think YouTube Gaming has that now.
Good for them. Too bad
Donations.
nobody ever uses the service.
Right, and I think that
Nobody anymore uses it.
that's the problem is
It just needs to die.
YouTube was originally a long format when it came to gaming. Like
Yep.
I
That's where people put their Let's Plays for hours on end.
well, didn't PewDiePie he quit uploading a series a couple episodes in and then just went straight to Twitch on it and then just
Outlast
did it.
2.
So he
It
just
was like
did it
episodes 1 and 2 that were cut, and then he just took the Twitch streams, edited them like just a little bit, but they were just the full Let's Play and just popped them on YouTube. And I don't blame them because YouTube, the adpocalypse, they're not making money. Those people need to make money. In Twitch, it's basically it's gaming of YouTube and Patreon put together because you can subscribe, you can use Twitch as a donation platform and help them out.
Yeah.
And those people, the cable companies will always give you that argument that gaming is not a real job, or just people who are older will always make that argument. Gaming
Right.
is not a real job. But it's a form of entertainment. So would I be fair to say that musicians aren't living real jobs?
I mean, that's an argument that's been made for decades, though. Musicians
Yeah.
don't have real jobs.
That's how I feel. I'm a musician. I love the art form, but how many hours does a musician actually put into their work?
Depends on how successful they are.
Exactly. Even me, I'm nobody, and I spend hours at a time at a computer like an office job does. Mundane, they just do all the paperwork, and I'm doing essentially the same thing. The paperwork of music, I'm still working. I still want to make something of it, get successful, get further in life.
That's how I am with my writing thing. It's like, yes, an article takes an hour or two to write.
So you ask yourself, is entertainment a business?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I think.
Why don't we treat it equal then? Why do we have to separate it and then damn those who we deem unworthy?
Ego. But, I mean, and I think that's the other thing. It's ego, and it's bowing down to old versions of shows and media, like television.
The older people can't accept the younger people.
What's the business models? Because
that too.
Twitch is successful because it's created its own business model.
Right.
YouTube is so slow on the uptake, which is ironic because it was it's owned by one of the biggest disruptors of all time with Google.
Who does not care about YouTube? Remember that.
Right.
They claim YouTube makes no money.
So you would think that they wouldn't have any problems with it. But then again, that goes back to the advertiser thing. But here's what makes Twitch so successful, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It takes what made Let's Plays successful originally. It's like hanging out with your friends while they play a game. The difference is it's live.
Exactly.
It lives off of that. It's a radio show. Whether it's a radio talk show, whether it's, me watching some of my favorite streamers, whether it's somebody big like Gassy Mexican and Eat My Diction, or somebody small like Parallax Stella or Matty P89. They're all great streamers, and I get that great level of content, and that's the other thing.
And you feel, like you said, you're actually there with them. You can interact with them. You can talk to them.
And they're giving small channels chances to succeed. They're giving them attention. They're giving them something. With YouTube,
that they need. You're brushed to the side. You're nothing.
Anybody's brushed to the side. Shit, we talked about it very briefly in the last episode with Team 4-Star. I mean, those guys put weeks, sometimes months into episodes.
Yeah.
And only for it to get taken down like that.
Yeah, because the system is so archaic and broken. Anyone can make a claim.
Yep.
And then it just started that the big companies started making the claims because you're gonna take away our money and revenue. And it's like, if you really think about it, say someone who doesn't watch Dragon Ball actually sees the Team 4-Star first, and maybe they want to watch it because it looks cool.
Wasn't that how Chase was?
Yes.
Our friend Chase, he had never seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z.
Saw the Team 4-Star and then actually started watching the show to see what it was actually about.
Yeah, and he really liked it. So
Just like I love watching the satirical SAO Sword Art Online stuff, which I think is hilarious. Do I want to watch the show? No. I've read the plot. It's pretty garbage. But, it's just, it makes you watch the show in a whole new light, and if you've never seen it before, you want to watch it. So why are you wanting to destroy it so bad when all it is publicity for you and your company?
because it's probably not them. It's usually just assholes doing it out of nowhere. But it goes back to the whole thing about YouTube doesn't care because they're old companies that are not willing to go into
A new direction.
a new direction.
Yep.
But you know what? There are people that are in these industries that are going into new
Someone will
directions.
take over for them.
Yeah, and like Twitch or other channels. And
Yep.
a good example of that actually comes from Blizzard.
Mhm.
I mean, Blizzard's like you want to talk about one of the old hands in gaming. I mean, they've been around since the 80s, I'd say.
Yes.
I think they were under a different name at that time,
Too bad Activision bought them. How sad.
but they're still great. And I
Of
mean,
course they are.
they're doing something really big, which we're gonna talk about right after these messages. Today's episode is sponsored by Posthuman War, a turn-based tactical strategy game now available on Steam. Alrighty then, guys. Thanks again for listening to us at The Name Doesn't Matter.
Hashtag TNDM.
And we are back. And we were talking about things that are kind of disrupting it because we talked about how we don't like the fact that YouTube is basically pushing out a lot of things because of old models that they're using
Right.
that just don't work for today. But we mentioned Blizzard because if you haven't noticed, the Overwatch League, which in my opinion is going to be the first legitimate eSports association, is starting up. The preseason was over past couple weeks. It was really only 1 week. It was good. It was interesting. Had its rough spots,
Don't they always?
and it's the proper season is going to be starting on January 10th. Now,
Ooh.
I'm personally going to be pulling for the Florida Mayhem and the Dallas Fuel. Florida Mayhem partially just because I love I think they look cool. It's hard for me to really have any kind of loyalty
Right.
to certain teams right now because they were just made. And then the
Right.
Dallas Fuel because of my favorite streamer from Overwatch, Seagull. He's on their team.
That's cool.
So, I mean, here's my thing. I'm really excited about the Overwatch League. I've talked about Overwatch a lot on Slickster Magazine. I've talked about esports in Slickster. But I know you've kind of got, I know you've got a bit of
we're coming. The sour note. You need that descending opinion.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to hear what you thought about the Overwatch League starting because you haven't played Overwatch yet, but you do know games similar to it. I talk about it a lot.
Right.
What do you think about the Overwatch League starting in esports in general? I guess.
Well, half the time I think esports are a joke, and this is coming from a guy who's gamed practically his whole life. Gamer elitism. But sometimes it makes me laugh. I don't know what it is about it. I myself don't take it that seriously. I do like the fact that Overwatch is doing their own little thing and they want to do it seriously and all that, but I don't know. Just that appeal because you have all these teams and it's just like, it's basically the sports edition. Well, obviously esports, but it's just that sportsmanship thing that comes into it. And I always had this
Or
idea,
lack thereof.
lack thereof. But I always had the idea is, for me, before esports was created, which was really multiplayer stuff. I mean, when multiplayer was really coming out, like in the mid-2000s, early to mid-2000s with the Xbox original, to me, gaming was fun.
Yeah.
And with esports, to me, it brought everybody into the hobby to try and take advantage. And games just lost their funness sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of Rainbow Six Siege, and I love competition, but for some reason, esports, just this huge commercial streamlining and commercialization of it, and just all this showboating, bragging, or none, because some teams, I hope, are humble, but it just makes it look like it's a big joke.
So your big thing is just because like taking that we're a sport thing too seriously Is it
A
just
little bit.
okay?
A little bit.
I mean, I can see that, but I mean,
Hey, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that esports is garbage and needs to be gutted out because, like I said, I do love competition. But another thing is the esports stuff. You have all these kids or adults that think they're esport material, talk all this garbage and trash, and they play awful, or they play really good. But what kind of community do you want to create for that? Do you really want a bunch of these people thinking that they're
well,
esports gold?
okay. Here's my thing about that.
Here's your thing.
That's like calling it the basketball community when Anthony and I go to the local YMCA. We have to play with these guys who keep going, ball, ball, come on, pass it to me. And then they'll airball every time. They'll be shooting
Right.
turnaround three-pointers. There's that in any kind of competitive aspect.
I understand that egos are a big thing, but
I mean, it's
I don't
just,
know. It gets annoying.
it's
After
because
it.
there's a product attached to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. And the other thing that I like about with the Overwatch League is the fact that they've got a proper ladder. They've shown,
Mhm.
you got to go from the open division to, I think it's called contenders, and then
Mhm.
the top teams from contenders have a chance to join, or the players have a chance to get
Mm.
picked up by the pro teams. Kind of like a D league, a developmental
Yeah.
league.
Yeah. That's fine. I can get behind that.
And that makes sense to me in a lot of ways just because of the way that it's being run. And again, they're combining older business strategies with
With-
newer ones
Right.
because
It's just a perfect marinade.
marinated
Nice
video
and saucy.
games.
I didn't know if I
Oh.
wanted to say that or marriage, but we'll go with marinade. It sounds more succulent.
You're just hungry.
Maybe. I don't think so.
You're just hungry, dude.
Nah, it's
Uh,
all right.
All right, Roadhog. But
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, for me, it's just
Who are you then?
obviously I'm Junkrat. I look like a fucking tweaked out meth head as it is. So, but
Well, you probably, I don't know, is it your explosive personality?
oh, shut up.
Nah, got him.
Either way, I'm excited about Overwatch League. I think here's the thing: once you see it,
I will watch it.
once you see it, you'll realize, okay, this is actually pretty cool. It's pretty well done. Maybe you'll change your opinion. Maybe you won't. I know that I'm looking forward to it. They showed off a lot of really cool stuff during the preseason in terms of how the presentation's going. I'll say this first off, or I'll say this though for sure. Commentary is awful. Like these shout like you.
Oh man, it makes me laugh and cringe all in one go.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some great casters. There
Yeah.
really are. But dear God, I mean, sometimes it feels like these guys care more about the banter between each other than actually calling the match.
Mm-hmm.
And another issue that I had with the Overwatch League's preseason was
Ooh.
they touted a lot of the cameras that they added, like being able to see it through player vision, being able to like see. Well, here's the thing: it's hard to watch. Here's the thing: it's hard to
Yeah, it is.
watch
It is.
Overwatch
Oh,
like
yeah.
before all these cameras were
Oh
added.
yeah.
And it does add to it, but they really need to work on which ones they're using and how they're
Mhm.
presenting it. It helps with what they're doing.
Mhm.
It shows that they're getting there, like with showing like the information on screen, comparing players, giving all this live data. That's all well and good. I love
Right.
it.
Well, it is.
But
How do you make it interesting sometimes?
it's not even the interesting part. You need to present it in a way that makes sense and
Yeah, to where it's not overwhelming you to death.
or just it's like, okay, I'll use a basketball analogy for this.
There you go.
We don't need to have the camera always on LeBron James
Right.
when he's up and down the court, because sometimes he won't touch the ball
Mm-hmm.
on offense. Sometimes the guy he's guarding won't ever have the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's LeBron James, but I want to say the action going on elsewhere. That was the issue.
Yeah,
They were
I
sometimes
agree.
playing they were showing
They just
away
show
from
dead
the
air.
action.
Yeah, they just show dead air.
Yeah, and they had to use replays a lot because like there would be like I remember during one match a diva sent off her bomb and it like it got a triple kill, and we
Nice.
saw it in a replay because they were watching the Junkrat,
Of course they were.
which is what it is.
It was
But
probably just running around or shooting continuously through this one window for spawn.
I mean it is the pro
Long
league, so it
distance.
it was an actual interesting fight, but it wasn't
Right.
what we all wanted to be seeing at that time.
Right. You
That
wanna
all
see
being
the highlight.
said, they were able to capture the diva, all this action. So I think that this first season is going to be a lot of them trying to get that down. I think getting the presentation down is going to be the first thing because, in
Yeah,
my
that's gonna
opinion,
be key.
the quality of play is already fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw some really exciting matches. Nothing's going to beat the United States versus South Korea match in the World Cup. I still have to force you to watch that. It was fan-fucking-tastic.
I'll
Yes,
have to
South
look
Korea
that up.
won. Nobody thought they were going to lose. They thought they
Right.
were going to 4-0 everybody through the tournament, but it was really fun to watch. So that's what I got to say about that. And I'm excited about the Overwatch League. I mean, are you?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
That's the most unenthusiastic.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
that
I'm
was super
excited.
unenthusiastic. You're over here all joyous. I'm just like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm over here peeking the mic and all that.
Yeah,
you're
you're
just
over
like,
here just blowing me up.
you're just like,
I'm gonna have fun with this one.
you're just like, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll see.
But
It'll be great.
speaking of stuff that I'm excited about,
What are you excited about?
I'm excited about a lot of shit because it's the end of the year, Christmas, and also the New Year.
I'm not.
You're not excited about the New Year?
No, just let me die. Not really.
Well, but what about the new video games?
The new video games, they're all garbage. They're
Oh,
multiplayer only loot box extravaganzas, don't you know?
Come on, there's got to be one. What's the game you're most excited about for 2018? Come on.
Bubsy 5.
Now listen here, you little shit. I will flip this table and
gonna
I will
flip that-
choke the
flip
life out of
You're
your
gonna flip
throat.
that table? Oh, is this gonna be a repeat of episode 1 where I triggered you?
Yes, I haven't. No. This will be where I
Start
can.
screaming.
This will be This will include me flipping the table and then choking your little neck beard out of you. I'm just
Man, I feel the love today. Whew.
Come on, man.
I think I need hazard pay for this now.
Come on, man. What's your favorite? What are you looking?
If it works, multiplayer wise.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
So you care more about? I didn't care about the multiplayer in Red Dead Redemption 1.
I know. Well, I did because it was really nice. But I'm not saying that that's the reason I want to play. I'm just like, I'm so mad with GTA 5 never wanting to work online for me. It drives me insane. But I do want to play Red Dead 2 because it looks great. It looks good. I'm hoping the story is, I think it's supposed to be a prequel to Red Dead 1.
Ooh.
It has to be because Dutch Van der Linde's in there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it can't be an afterthought. So it's got to be like either somewhere in between 1880 to 1900.
That's
So
interesting.
I think Red Dead 2 took place in, or not Red Dead 1 took place in 1911.
Yeah, it took place at the very end of like the
The old
Wild West.
Yeah, the Wild West. They were,
It's weird to think that cowboys were still a
cultivating.
thing during World War One.
pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you think about European countries, cavalier teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you still had horseback going up against tanks. Was it a good idea? Probably not, but some countries, couldn't afford tanks.
That reminds me of like half of my campaigns in Civilization 5.
I'm sure those went well.
For me, because I was the tank.
Oh, there you go. You were much more advanced.
But what's got you excited about Red Dead 2?
Well, the fact that Red Dead 1 was just so great. The story, it made you feel emotional. I mean, it was realistic. You see this guy. It's kind of funny because now that I think about it, it's kind of like the whole Michael side story of GTA 5. A man who is trying to make up for his past of being a thief and killer. But instead of it being 1/3 of the game, it's the whole game. But, you feel for John. You understand his motivations of wanting to right his wrongs. And, people give him flack for being so ethical, but a cold-blooded killer at the same time. Can this man really be taken seriously on a morality scale?
Right.
And, that too, the game world was big, but it wasn't empty. I mean, even the most empty part of tall trees up in the woods still had some substance because that's where the best place to hunt was.
Shoot the shit out of a bear and then skin that motherfucker.
Exactly. I think the dead zones in that was probably like the bottom of the Mexico part.
The deserts.
Yeah, the deserts were just a little too deserted, if you know what I mean.
I couldn't help but just keep going back to like the first couple towns. It was always so much fun.
Oh yeah, Armadillo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's got to be Cyberpunk 2077 though. And it's
Hopefully
funny
it
because
comes out.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, it's funny because we don't really know a lot about the game. We know it's probably going to be an open world RPG.
Yeah, what did bring that to such hype?
Well,
my bad. Hype. That's a dirty word. Such good stature.
because CD Projekt Red is working on it. Same guys behind the Witcher series.
I'm an idiot. I apologize.
I mean, come on. I mean,
I actually do like The Witcher 3. I got it on sale,
I'm
and I
surprised
was
that didn't
surprised I
get
actually
more.
liked it.
I'm surprised that didn't get more Game of the Year awards.
Right.
Because, I mean, that was a fucking good game.
It was.
It's not my favorite open world RPG. I mean,
But it's up there.
it's well, okay, it's cliche to say because for me it's Skyrim, but I don't know. I mean,
Right.
but you know, that's the PUBG thing. As buggy as it is and the shit there is
Mhm.
with it,
Mhm.
god damn, it's fun to play.
Well, because it has such high replayability.
It does.
And
I mean,
even that game world is huge, but yet it still feels alive.
yeah.
Because there's so much in it. They didn't do the open world make it dead.
Did you ever get all the uncommon gems?
And what?
Skyrim.
Well, unfortunately for you, I had a modded save that I had everything. Like, you know where you start out in that prison keep?
Well, fuck you.
This mod, no, I'm not kidding. This was pretty crazy. I'm surprised that Microsoft let it pass because I had that and I had modded Fallout saves.
Oh wait, you had it on the Xbox.
Yeah, on the bone. Or on the 360, not the bone. But no, I played Skyrim because I got free from my cousin, Game Code.
Yeah.
But this this save file, so you know where you start in that prison keep in the very beginning.
Yeah.
In this room, the person had it set up to where there were cabinets full of items. Every item in the game, multiples of. Your character was 255 and everything, unlimited health, stamina, and
Man.
magic. Yeah, it was
Fuck that.
extremely neutered, and after it easily got boring because there was no challenge. And I was like, And I went back and I did play it legitimately, and it was still very fun. But you know, it was just interesting to see how this person manipulated this code to have everything in there, even stuff that was really hard to get, like the Jabberwock staff. Was that the name of it?
Yeah.
You gotta do that crazy quest.
And then it changes things into other things.
Yeah, and it just makes all hell and chaos, fire and brimstone loose.
Yeah, but the reason why it's not just because Cyberpunk 2077 is being made by CD Projekt Red.
It helps.
I mean, fuck yeah, it helps. It's because I love Cyberpunk.
A lot of people do. Snatcher, that was big. Sega CD.
I mean, I remember watching the original Ghost in the Shell, not the Scarlett Johansson version. I mean, I remember watching the original Ghost in the Shell. I mean, The Matrix.
The Matrix, yes.
There's not a lot of great Cyberpunk games in my opinion.
No.
There's some good ones for sure.
But there's nothing that really stands out.
And I mean, for me, I've always wanted to be able to just explore a futuristic city.
Yeah,
you know,
think
with all
it's
that
been
tech.
long enough. Why not?
Because I mean, it's like, remember Advanced Warfare? I mean, shit. Like
the
whole thing
one of
was
my favorite Call of Duty games.
the whole thing with that was new video game technologies.
Right.
Why is it taking so long for?
Right.
Like, people are so stuck up in this fantasy thing for open world RPGs and stuff. Why can't we get it in the future? I mean, let's be honest. Future
What do we
technology
have?
is basically magic.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, maybe the Dot Hack series or something. I can't really think of it.
Destiny to a degree?
To a degree, but it's not cyberpunk. That's just sci-fi.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is more like the dirty, grimy, still on Earth, like,
Let's develop. Let's throw out some game ideas then. While we're
Oh,
on this topic, what
I
would you
mean-
want to see in your Cyberpunk open world game? Let's just build one for us and our fellow listeners.
I mean, there's got to
have some
be.
fun.
I mean, I don't want to be playing on tropes, but the big megacorps. I mean, that's a part of
Wayland
cyberpunk.
Butani.
What?
Wayland from the Aliens,
Yeah. Yes.
the Alien series.
Um,
Wayland Butani. I think that's the name.
I'd love to see a kind of I'd like to see a progression system that can have you go towards other forms, like whether you become more robotic, whether you work with biological.
Like a Deus Ex thing.
Yeah, Deus Ex, but doing
What would you feel about? Sorry. What would you think about starting off in like a somewhat modern time, and then as the game progresses and you upgrade, you see you and the world advance in time, kind of like Sims on steroids with a time lapse. Wouldn't that be kind of cool though? You see that advancement, it'd be nifty.
So
I think it'd be
basically,
pretty nifty.
the way you advance your character's abilities is just by having him like sit and watch the world advance, and then he comes back ageless, like not having aged at all.
Maybe not that, but something like that.
I mean,
don't know.
maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. It'd be cool, like just seeing your character go from like human
Mm-hmm.
modern weapons, and then as you level up and you get the augments, like a Deus Ex type thing, and then but maybe not set it in a setting that's in the past. Just have your character develop that way.
I don't know, maybe, but here's my thing that
Maybe I'm on too many drugs.
this is what excites me about Cyberpunk in
What?
general. It's like the idea of the Cyberpunk 2077. It
Mm-hmm.
takes what makes all these fantasy open world RPGs good, which is we get to see today
Today,
how it was yesterday.
right?
We get to imagine what it was like in a fantasy world with feudal systems and magic and might, swords and sorcerers, dragons and dragon poop. I don't know. And I mean, I was kind of
What
going,
brought you to that?
well, swords and sorcery, magic and might, dragons and I don't know, dragon shit. But
I just love that last one. I don't know why. It's just like dragon poop. Like you couldn't think of anything else.
I mean, come on, that would have been. I'm surprised there's not a mod for that. Dragons just dropping big old fat shits out of the sky and they're flying around.
I bet there is a mod
There might be.
somewhere on the deepest, darkest corners of the Nexus.
Probably is, but that's the thing. It does today and yesterday's format. I want to see
That is
today and
pretty-
tomorrow's format.
Yeah,
and
that is pretty cool.
I mean,
I do too.
I would love to like imagine like you're doing a big chase scene
Right.
and you're on like a
cars
or a
hoverboards.
light cycle from something
Oh,
like
yeah.
reminiscent of Tron, and you're going through like
Yeah,
these
that'd be
carbon
cool.
fiber buildings.
That'd
and
be cool.
You're
I'd love that.
Or you're trying to like, let's say it's an investigative mission, and you have to try and find somebody in a crowded club or bar, and you've got all these different species. You got these augmented people. You have to find somebody who has
That'd
a
be
certain
sweet.
kind of modification on them. I mean, it's just with that futurized technology in it,
Of, like-
it allows for a kind of fantasy that
Yeah.
doesn't exist with what we typically see,
And
and
would
we.
give you so many liberties.
And you actually see a little bit of it, ironically, in Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like, because he's got a freaking motorcycle in the latest update. You see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
That's
they-
pretty hilarious.
Link's got a fucking motorcycle, or like they got robots with lasers and shit.
That is hilarious.
Kind of like the Dwemer were in Skyrim.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, it's just I'm excited about those things because it shows the potential of where we could go. Because I mean, we've got some crazy shit just on the
Just
horizon
now.
today. So imagine if it's like, there we go, 2077. That's shit. That's 60 years from now. 59 in a couple
we'll be
weeks.
old and gray.
Yeah, we'll be old and gray, or we might not be because of the way
The
that
health
aging's
advancement,
changed.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
they're
keep
saying
80 is the new 60, 60 is the new 40.
and they're saying that the first person who's going to live to 150 has already been born.
Yeah. That's just the way healthcare is.
So for me,
Just don't eat McDonald's.
but it's so good. But the McChickens.
I know it's good. Fast food, I know. And it's that convenience, especially when you're an adult. But
Oh, it's so good.
if you
I
want to live
wanna-
to 150, do yourself. Actually, if you want to live
if
to
I live to
150,
150, I'm eating whatever the fuck I want.
well,
I'm
right,
smoking
right,
all
right,
my
right,
fucking
right,
stogies.
right.
Man, fuck that. I'm gonna eat what I want.
There you go. That's the attitude. We know what? If you live to 150, you just don't eat KFC. Your arteries will thank you.
Point taken.
KFC. I haven't eaten KFC in like 7-8 years.
I haven't had
I avoid that thing like the plague, and I have one down the street.
I last went to KFC about a year ago, I'd say. Maybe not a year ago. I've gone there maybe once in the past couple years. I'll put it
You
that
know
way.
what I find really funny about
What?
the games we look forward to?
What?
Yours is set in the far future, mine's set in the far past. Just total opposites. You're going up to Cyberpunk with all this, and I'm going back to horse and lever action rifles and revolvers.
Yeah, but I mean, it still had those elements of. But that's the thing, though. I think one of the best parts about games is that they all have an element of fantasy.
Of
You know,
course.
With sports games, it's that element of I'm LeBron James, I'm Michael
Mhm.
Jordan, I'm Messi. With an FPS game, it's like I'm the big hero and the
I'm
badass.
the Doomslayer.
Yeah,
I'm Marcus Phoenix.
yeah, or I'm the cowboy from Red Dead Redemption.
I'm John Marston.
Sorry, the name
That's
escaped me.
okay.
And I can
In
slow down.
Platformers, I'm a lizard with a bat attached to my head.
I'm
Or I'm a bear with a bird in my backpack.
Or I'm a little purple dragon and I'm adorable. And also I'm going to kill you.
Or I'm an Italian plumber.
Or a bandicoot, whatever.
Have
the
they
fuck that
denounced him being a plumber? I thought I heard something like that, saying he's just no longer a plumber now.
is. Yeah, I wonder
heard
why.
that.
Which is kind of ironic because the world is, or at least America has a very low, they have like a shortage of people in trades. Maybe we need more Marios, America.
There you go. Guys, we need more plumbers.
Yeah.
That's the lesson of the day, everyone. We need more plumbers.
Yeah.
Just call up Joe. He needs the work.
Joe the plumber?
Yeah, he needs the work.
Who's Joe?
Joe the plumber. Do you not remember that?
No.
No? That's okay.
What's it from?
McCain.
Oh,
Or was it Romney? It was Romney or McCain.
One of them. Oh, yeah.
That's
remember
okay.
that.
Yeah, just call up Joe. I'm sure he needs the work. It's been, 8 years?
Something. But you know what? I bet there is a Cyberpunk open world game, and I bet I know where I could find it.
The PlayStation 1.
Steam.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, as much as you deride it, there's a fuck ton of games on there.
Hey, you know what? I only deride it because of early access and Steam Direct. Because they are cesspools of garbage.
I mean, you said that with Greenlight, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'd rather have Direct, and now that's not good enough.
Well,
for
because
you.
Direct looked promising, and then it just
Fair enough.
it didn't go anywhere. You still see them littered everywhere.
I would have rather they just stuck with Greenlight.
I do. They may as well have. What has Direct offered us that Greenlight hasn't? It's the same
Couldn't tell
exact
you.
thing, new name.
And
they
now it's-
probably cleaned out Greenlight and just did a full refresh on Direct. Probably just did a big old server dump.
And the other worst part is it took away a lot of the community feedback.
Of course.
But all that being said, though, you're going to
still
keep
like
using Steam.
It's the only one. What do you want to use? EA Origin?
Have you checked out the Steam sales?
Oh yeah, speaking of which, the winter sale is going on. Please pick up your favorite game for
5 cents.
5 cents.
I'm actually going to be picking up
We're
Shell Shock.
talking about G2A prices here.
I'm going to be picking up Shell Shock Live for like
There you
$4.
go. There you go.
So,
I'll probably get something.
yeah. I mean, season's greetings, everybody. You all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. See you guys later on this next episode of
The name doesn't matter.
#TNDM.
Peace. Peace.